Hello guys, hello my lovely people, welcome back to my channel. On this video I'll be working on a Basque corset. I'll be cutting Basque corset gown, an off-shoulder corset gown. It will have a Basque shape. So I'll be working on this video. This is the material that I'll be using to work on this video, but right now I'll be cutting it out with a pattern paper. Okay, if you're new to my channel, please, you're highly welcome. Subscribe, click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Like my video, share my video. My subscribers, I really appreciate you guys. Please, on this corset I'll be cutting it with the easiest method. I've made a video of 1 or 2 on how to cut a corset, but on this one will be a different type of it, and it will be an easy way of cutting a corset, a Basque short gown. So I'll start with, I'll be cutting both the corset and the skirt together, reason because it's a Basque corset, so I'll be taking the measurements both together. All I have to do now is I will do minus 5 inches to get the half length. The half length is 16 inches. Because I'm using pattern paper, I won't be adding sewing allowance on this one. I'll be adding it while cutting it on the material. So I'll be marking 16 inches, which is for the half length. After that 16 inches, the next thing I will mark is the hip line, from the waist to the hip line, which is 9 inches. And the full length of the gown is 38 inches. 38 inches. That is the full length of the gown. Then on this pattern paper I'll be adding 2 inches, 1 inch for sewing allowance and 1 inch for hemming. That will give me 14 inches. Remember, I'm doing minus 5. It's an off shoulder, so you keep your tape on minus 5 before you get the full measurement. So here is full length. Full length. Here is the hip measurement, the hip line. Here is the waist. And here is the shoulder line. So the next thing I will do now is, from up here, the next thing I will do now, sorry, I need to tape so that it will stay one place. So the next thing I have to do now is to mark the nipples to nipples measurements. Which is 4.5. Nipples to nipples measurement is 8 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance. That will give me 9 inches. Then I'll be dividing it by 2. So 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So after marking that, I'll mark the under bust line. Sorry, there's a little mistake on this one. So the under bust line is 12 inches, while the bust point is is 9 inches, or rather, yeah, 9 inches. So after that, now I'll mark 1 inch from the under bust to the waistline. I'll mark 1 inch to the both side. I'll connect the lines. After marking the lines, then I'll mark 1 inch to the both side from the shoulder. So after marking 1 inch to the shoulder, I will connect it down to this bust point. I'll make a curve to bust point, and I'll do the same to the other one. After that, I'll connect this line with this 1 inch line from under bust down to the bust point, and I'll do the same to the other side. So I've gotten my bustier shape now. So this is, since it's a Basque croset I'm working on, I will be marking 4 inches from the waistline. I'll mark 4 inches. I'll connect the line. So after marking these 4 inches, all I have to do now is from here, I'll sharp the line down to this 4 inches. I just got the Basque line. It's a Basque croset, so I just, from the waistline, I connect it to the 4 inches which I marked. So after this, the next thing I will do now, I will insert the bust measurement. To get my bust line -5, I'll mark 9 inches. 9 inches for the bust line. Here is the bust line. 9 inches for the bust line. So the bust measurement is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give me 9 inches. Then I'll be adding this ½ inch which I'll cut out from here, which is 9.5, plus 3 inches sewing allowance. I'll have 12.5. I'll dot the 12.5. The waist measurement is 30 inches. 30 divided by 4 will give me 7.5. Then I'll be adding this 1 inch, which I will take out from here. I'll be adding it 2 inches, sorry, giving me 9.5, plus 3 inches sewing allowance. That will give me 12.5. I'll connect the line. Then to this Basque croset, I'll bring down this 1 inch. I'll get the line down to this area. I'll mark it down to this area, and the same thing here. So after bringing down the lines, the next thing I will do, I will insert the hip measurement, which is 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5, plus 3 inches sewing allowance. That will give me 12.5. So I will also connect the line. And since I marked 12.5 here from the hip, I might lost 1 inches and I'll mark 11 and half, or I'll mark 11 inches to the down part. So I'll connect the line. So after marking that line, I will take this from here. I'll slant this very well. So the next thing I will do now is the shoulder line. The shoulder is 14 inches divided by 2 will give me 7. Then since I'll cut out these 2 inches here, so I'll be adding it, giving me 9 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. That will give me 10 inches. So from here I'll carve my armhole. You can use your pattern master. I'm using freehand. I've carved my armhole. So the next thing I will do now is I'll cut these pieces. After cutting it, I will now show you how to get your corset shape. So I'll be cutting from here, from the Basque line. Corset shape, as you can see. And this is the skirt. And here is the skirt. And here is the bustier line. So to get the corset, from here I'll mark 1/2 inch. That 1/2 inch is that space you have in between your breasts. So I'll be marking 1/2 inch. When I open it, it will give me 1 inch. So I mark the 1 inch to the 1/2 inch to the bust point. So the next thing I will do now is from here, from the under bust, I'll connect this down to this bust point. Then to this side, since the breast is fuller by the side, I'll measure 4 inches. I'll measure 4 inches. So from this 4 inches, I'll connect it down to this point. This angle don't have a specific measurement. You can use 3.5, 4.5, depending how big the person bustier is. And after that, after marking this 4 inches, then I'll take it up this way. I'll take it up this way and blend it. So guys, this is the simplest and the easiest method on cutting a corset. So all I have to do now is I'll cut it out. And I also cut this side out. So I guess you see what I have now. So I'll use my tape to tape it for you to see it. But before taping it, I need to mark it to know which one is which. This one is 1, this one is 2, this one is 3, and here is 4. So I will now use my tape to tape it. So guys, after taping this is what I have. This is what I have for the croset, and for the Basque croset, this one will be like this. So now I will move in cutting out the back. So the back will be as normal. There will be no Basque at the back. So you just cut it normally the way back is cut. So I'll be cutting the back with it. So guys, to cut the back, I will do my loss 5 again and get the half length, which is 16 inches. So from that waist, I will mark the hip line, which is 9 inches. So after marking the hip, here is the waist. And here is the shoulder. So after marking the waist, the hip, then I will now get the full length of the gown. The full length is 38 plus 2 inches sewing allowance, that is 40. I'll do my loss 5 inches and I'll mark 40. Here is the full length. So after that, the next thing I have to mark is my zipper allowance. This is the back, so it will have a zipper allowance. So this zipper allowance is 1.5 inch for the zipper allowance. So after marking the zipper allowance, I'll now mark the shoulder line, which is 14 divided by 2 will give me 7. And from this shoulder, I will do my loss 5 inches and get the bust line, which is 9 inches. For the bust line. So after marking the bust line, I will now mark the 7 inches down. So from there, I'll insert the bust measurement, which is 36 divided by 4 gives me 9, plus 2 inches sewing allowance, which is 11. Then the waist is 30 divided by 4, 7.5 plus 2 inches sewing allowance, which is 9.5 plus 1 inch for that. That will give me 10.5. Then the hip measurement is 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5 plus 2 inches sewing allowance, that is 11.5. And since I marked 11.5 on the hip, I'll minus 1 inches and mark 10.5 to the down part. So I'll connect the lines. So after connecting the lines, the next thing I'll do now, I'll carve my armhole from my shoulder down to the bust line. This is my armhole. So the neckline, the length of the neck I want is 2 inches. So from that 2 inches, but before I mark the 2 inches, from this shoulder line I'll come in by 1 inch. From this 1 inch I'll connect it down to the 2 inches for the neck. I want it a round neck, and from this 1 inch which I come in up to, I'll connect it back to the armhole. So guys, this is what I have for the back. So I'll be cutting it out, then using it to trace it on the main fabric. So I'll be cutting out from the waist. I'll be separating it. It won't be a together dress. So I'll be cutting the zipper allowance open, but I will be doing that while cutting it all on the fabric. So now so guys, this video is only on how to cut this beautiful style you see. Then to the front part, to get the design on the down part, all you have to do, I'll open the skirt open. This is the front skirt. I will open it. This is the midline, the center line. This is the center line. So all I have to do now, I'll measure 12 inches. So from these 12 inches I mark, I'll slant it to the down part. Then if you want it to be more high, you can come up. Or if you want it to be a bit curvy, you don't want it to go straight, you can use your hand, get it curved like this. If you want it to be a bit curvy, you see what I'm doing? Use your hand and get it curved. After curving it, you cut this out. Cutting this out, you will use this side to trace it on a lace or a net fabric, which one you will be using, whichever one you're gonna use for it. Alright, if you want it to be a bit high, you can just come up. You can just come up by more 1 inch. Maybe from the hip you come down by 1 inch. From the hip you come down by 1 inch, and you slant it back to the down part. But this side you will come up by 1.5 or thereabout. You slant it back to there. After slanting it, then you also make this curvy line. Use your free hand to make a curvy line. So it's either you use the first measurement which I mark and cut it, or you use the second measurement. It depends on your choice, and it depends on how high you want the net which you're going to attach on it to be. So I'll be cutting it out later, and I hope you understand what I explained there. So this is the skirt, the front, the back, and this is the half length. This is for the croset. This is for the Basque croset. So guys, thank you guys for watching my video. I'll also be making another video on how to sew this. I'll make a video on how to sew this. This video is only on how to cut the style. So I'll make another video on how to sew it. Thank you guys for watching my video. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you, and I love you so much. Bye.